A PI system is difficult to get papers out easily. If these ones are out, the next one the list are qualified. It's a list system. See now, so are we going to solve this issue? It's not as easy as people are saying. Because if I'm like the first past the post, you will say, okay, this man is out, it's out. It's a PI system. These days today, almost all CSOs are gone. You able to see one way we talk the two and speak truth to power. That is frustrating for the work they do. In this case, let's be realistic. The call for transparency is okay, correct. ECSL for transparently produce the data where they claim say nine people in votes and when people we call and pull them for transparency's sake, for best practices, as you guiding principle also dictate. So not to think any way act for do. But what we condemn APC now the fact that you can't call for elections when you avoid the court. But the publication of the result is something that is we all for agree on. So tomorrow let APC kind of power say our opposition, then they do the same thing. So you know, will fine for we all. So let we all call on this for just publish this. It can be the beginning of the healing process. And then let's see if APC not work in parliament, we'll say, okay, APC, what do you want again? They have published the issue. If you want to challenge it now, then go to court.
Hello viewers, this na IRN Facebook page and also Gbla TV online as you get we now. This na your special weekly talk show with na Salone Parliament Spotlight, and it come to you for talk about issues that will happen in Parliament. We say we get different stakeholders, them, member them of Parliament, and other people them we get something for say what within the happen in Parliament. Of course, today we get na the show a lawyer, of course, a human rights activist, of course, of long time standing. In name na Rashid Dumbuya ESQ. Welcome to Salone Parliament Spotlight.
Thank you for where you invite me today, Mr. Gbla. I'm grateful.
Okay, so we discuss issues that we get to do with the Salone Parliament. Of course, the topical issue now where we they talk about the APC boycotting Parliament. Of course, despite sittings them don't start. Of course, they don't miss 4 sittings them already. First of all, what do you take to the APC boycotting the position for boycott Parliament? Of course, we don't see 4 sitting don't pass. As a civil society activist, what do you think about this position by the APC party?
Yes, so I'm glad it's today where you spend time for come talk to we. We na Legal Link and we na CSO where they defend the rights of vulnerable groups and talk on rule of law issues, accountability, transparency, and of course democratic good governance. So what's in the happen at the country today so will definitely affect democratic good governance and ultimately a threat to national security as well and peace of the nation. We don't make the position very clear on this, and we understand the situation where the main opposition party they try for express. We understand them grievances. We understand them misgivings in terms of the entire electioneering process, and we don't make it clear in the press statements and even in the advocacy say they have legitimate rights to demand at the very least for accountability and transparency from ECSL regarding the publication of the entire result, you know, by polling stations as in the demand. That is a measured call, and we condemn them on the other calls that they make, say, well, they forget elections in 6 months and the like, because we think, say, all the Supreme Court will cancel and annul an election and then order for a rerun. But then feel for going to court, so they not get the moral high ground for call for election in 6 months. But they can call for a publication of the result by ECSL. And so we make it clear and say that call is legitimate, but for say they go into governance because of that, we don't question and small. We don't tell them and say no. They can still in governance and make that call because it's important that ECSL come out clear and publish the disaggregated data by polling stations. So everybody will be confident say what they pronounce eventually in the actual result. So that is a measured call and a call where we all for join every Salonian for get that done by ECSL. So the call important and we agree with them on that call day, but then we not agree with them as for escalate, not for going to parliament or take other offices them at the local level based on that day. We don't make it clear say they can still do it, and do a lot of boycotts and demonstrations and even other international lobbies and even call for a lot of reforms on the laws as in the quest for that for happen, because it's important, or even going to court eventually enforce ECSL for produce that data day. So it's a tough one, but the main reason why we call on them, even though the time is running out, that the constitution will likely be tampered with if APC not there in parliament. As it stands now, the ruling government not gets two-thirds majority. All right, they get very high number, but altogether they not still get the two-thirds majority when they wait for change or putting out the constitution. So they will need APC support for able to change things then and change clause them. But if APC not there now, the number of people in present, all right, could be technically argued for constitute two-thirds majority and then be able to change and change clauses in the constitution. So for that particular reason, with the big APC and the other stakeholders, and make them look at this issue from a very nationalistic point of view and perhaps take the higher bar and go in parliament or take up offices them and then now prevent any abuse or violation of the constitution where perhaps they on the pipeline for happen. All right, with even more than say they want for even extend 10 years and all of these things. And these are things that we don't want to see happen in our country.
Yeah, so of course, this brings me to what you they say, them not going, other things then go happen, the ruling go on for make use for, therefore, let them power all water and do what they want to do because they now want to be prevented because of APC no day. Yes. Now, 4 sittings gone. We don't see approvals and other things that don't happen in the world of parliament, APC no day.
Yes.
What does this mean? Now, time they go so man go say, what does this mean?
Yes, so perhaps the approvals they're not too scary because now just almost all
presidential nominees for ministers,
almost all time, whether APC done already, they can still approve them. So, but waiting will be scary now when perhaps they can begin debate constitutional issues, or they can begin talk about agreements then, international and as well as local, where perhaps not will necessarily carry the will of the people if put to the test. So these are the things that we are looking at and perhaps have been scary over when then they will surface in the parliament. Already we know they see much of dialogue. Everybody is just doing their thing, and this is what we are unhappy about. If one person aggrieved over a process, let's take time to get them into a round table, understand what they say, make some effort for come halfway in meeting. Yeah, so and that's the question. So now we not see CSO get the moral high ground for doing. We not see just the religious community itself not get the moral high ground for doing. Of course, not the government, because the SPC not seem towards the government.
And we see,
so we don't know really that for really book at this dialogue.
Yes, we see the ECSL go table a document we get for do with them work for 2022. We get for do with also the election and APC not there for move a motion for debate. I'm looking inside more.
Yes,
some man say APC don't miss one opportunity.
Yeah, so that's what we are saying. So we are saying, well, it's not necessarily an APC issue. This is a national issue. So make you always say, even if APC eventually not did it, the people who did it for you for trigger a debate.
Now one party.
I understand. Say Mame Bangura did it.
He did it, yeah. Well,
so I don't know if they use that for let it trigger a debate for happen.
Well,
but in any case, we are trivializing this situation where, for the very first time it happened in our history, elected people not going to take their offices, and this is now a test case we will not for miss out, because if we miss this out, we will lay a dangerous precedent where we will continue for affect the body politic in the future. Someday again, if APC win, I said we will say back when they go there. So it's time we get it right. That's why we are making the call. These days today, almost all CSOs are gone. You will see one way we talk the truth and speak truth to power. That is frustrating for the work they do. In this case, let's be realistic. The call for transparency is okay, correct. ECSL for transparently produce the data where they claim say 9 people in votes and when people we call and pull them for transparency's sake, for best practices as you guide in principle also dictate. So not to think the way act for do. But what we condemn APC Now, the fact is, you can't call for elections when you avoid the court. The court's then for annul election and then order a rerun.
Moving forward, we see, of course, you as a civil society don't call the APCs for APC for look inside the decision and do a rethink, of course, for going to parliament. We see the Speaker of Parliament, of course, recently don't call on the APC MP them for going to parliament and again a clause. Let them go there quick before it's too late. How you see that call?
Yes, so the constitution very clear on absence, and of course standing orders are clear. But remember, it's not so clear as the people in the talking parliament or parliamentarians, because I mean, if you get good reason not for the present, all right, perhaps that will be looking to. So who determines what is the good reason? For be absent? Who determines that? Is it the speaker or is it a judicial decision and the like? So me don't know they escalate. It's something we can handle in a very quieter and very reasonable approach. Somebody is not happy and is expressing his unhappiness. Can we together agree that SSL publish that data and save this trouble? These are the only things we can. Let's meet halfway and then see what we can do.
In this same question, of course, the Speaker quotes Section 77, subsection 1, paragraph E inside the 1991 Constitution.
Yes.
And also the Standing Order 77, 2A, where it say MP go lost in seats.
Yes.
If you not go to Parliament for 30 days in total. We don't put all the two of them together. We they side by side. How you think this will be possible?
Yes, well, law has say if they lost their seat, will it still? Remember, we are in a PI system. So if they force people also we appear for be elected based on the list, lost their seat. So what does that mean? It means automatically the second people automatically are qualified. A PI system is difficult to get papers out easily. If these ones are out, the next one on the list are qualified. It's a list system. So are we going to solve this issue? It's not as easy as people are saying. Because if I'm like the first past the post, you will say, okay, this man is out, is out. It's a PI system. Somebody is dying, somebody is vacant. The next person on the list automatically emerges. So I want to say a situation where if this is going to be triggered, what will it in the court of the PI system? What is that going to mean? So you know me say the law and seats all man done, or
law
are we going to the second?
This kind of situation?
That's the point in a PI context. So say we didn't on.
It don't ever happen, or than the first in this way they happen.
Yes, so it's possible to happen, but maybe also on a PI system. Because the PI system
about the PI.
Yeah, the PI is about a list system where if one person lost a seat in Parliament, you come to the next person on the list.
And people in the way they wait, people in there on time.
So I wonder if
even to the SL people.
Yes, I wonder if all of these people now 30 days elapses and they lost their seat, what is their effect? The effect is we go to the second people on the list according to the PI system.
Except if the APC side and APC passing again.
Yes, except if they have another interpretation about it. So again, these are the things. So to me, as a CSO, we bring a look for ways we can get a whole constitutional hula and then create a whole deadlock in our governance system. Then tell the happen so there discussion what happen so and get us to undermine the peace and stability of the nation.
We see another call we come out from Honorable Mohamed Bangura.
Yes.
Of course, in party position, say leader not going to parliament. You know, look to that, you go to parliament.
Yes.
Now it in a parliament. In the call on the party now, in company now for going to parliament. How you see this call?
Yes. So yeah, I mean it's okay. Mohamed Bangura na person way getting your own right for make a call or not for make a call, and he right for also go as he claims say in the doing out of national duty and the constitution. In fact, we in my opinion make a very clear say make APC not touch Mohamed Bangura, like the Navy can't go to court because he go open a whole legal battle. Remember, APC already they forget for Canada court. This any touch of Mohamed Bangura go be there at the court.
Court by force.
Also when they forget, and they will create a whole lot of tension, and we go have to distract them for a whole long time. So left arm, if Nigeria choose, no problem. You can have that way of discipline him down the line, but don't touch him now because the government wants him there, and that will trigger a whole legal battle that will last for several years. And so that's our call. And if he believes what he's doing is okay as far as concerned, let the electorate deal with him, I will argue, and not necessarily the party.
So finally, what do you think say for the solution to this issue from a civil society standpoint?
Yes. So first, dialogue is the way out. I'm not seeing that happening these days. Parliament is not making the move. The government is not doing much as people will say yes, it happened. We're not seeing Inter-Just Council also taking the lead. We're not seeing CSOs. We're not seeing even the international community. So we're in a deadlock. But we are thinking of something as young people. And by God's grace, next week, we are trying to put a plan out there to see how we can interface at the very least with some of these key actors and start raising the agenda for perhaps a national approach in dealing with this issue. So we, the young ones, are going to challenge them. We'll be interfacing with APC stakeholders, SLP stakeholders, the parliament, and other key stakeholders in the body politic, and see how we'll put them down. We'll talk about this generally and fair solution, including ECSL. So in the report 2007 to ECSL, we can very clearly say ECSL was wrong in many respects. They not count now the district entirely got the district. It's wrong. The law say from the polling station you can have the districts, you can't certify, and you move them to the regional. Same thing happened before it down to the national. Then now you pull the result, but that was not done. Even the CCSL report more recently, then clearly we can say yes, it was not done, and then they don't undermine the entire process. So the publication of the result is something that is we all for agree on. So tomorrow let APC power say our opposition, then they do the same thing. So we'll find for we all. So let we all call on this for just publish this. It can be the beginning of the healing process. And then let's see if APC is not working in parliament, we'll say, okay, APC, what do you want again? They have published the issue. If you want to challenge now, then go to court. But you have to now go to parliament. I think publishing the issue should not be an issue, it's not really all this thing. The other day we hear from them now one registration, they say they get the result, but they don't publish them. They will do it when they want for them. That is not how we govern, as an institution of integrity. You can't say I have the data, I will not publish it until I feel so. No. It's essential for do the right thing. It's now a call from even international partners and observers then we do the election. They will not see Qatar Center, the EU, they call statement and publish the data by polling stations.
The US embassy.
Yes. So not just APC no more. And again, this is the biggest fight we have to deal with as well. We have seen how it stands by international community as against the government. Okay, and
not just the APC.
Yes. So how do we also move from the APC fight to also the international community to restore confidence, okay, in our governance system? So the biggest fight we are all looking at. Okay, so our call is let's sit down and dialogue. You don't know the accelerator man is okay. If you don't come, we'll pull you. You can not easily do that in the PR system. So that is my call to parliamentarians who are talking about this. It's a PR context. If you want to remove anyone, you might succeed, but then the next person have to take the seats. So it means we have to go on with the removal almost endlessly, because we have about double number of. So I don't understand it all, but that's my layman interpretation. Perhaps the court might prove me wrong, all right, or you can prove me wrong. But I know in the context of a PR, if somebody loses his seat or a seat, the next person in line should automatically qualify.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know, except if they intend to interpret the standing orders to mean when one person loses it, everybody automatically is gone. I'm not sure that would be the best interpretation to give to it. So as a CSO and a human rights lawyer, this is my call. Let's stop the escalation. Let's stop the rhetorics. Let's stop all the tense, reactions, and let's sit down, laugh a little in a roundabout table, and then find a path that will be a win-win for everybody.
Thank you very much for talking to IRN.
Thank you.
And Gbla TV Online.
I'm grateful.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.